Fail to plan, plan to fail. Failing to plan is the number one reason that most people get stuck in their fat loss journeys. So, if your scale is not budging because hitting your macros feels like a fantasy that only 20 something year olds without children can do, then this one is for you. What's up? My name is Ariel, and I'm a fitness and nutrition coach specializing in transformations from pre and postnatal to competitive bodybuilding. Over the last 7 years, I've compiled a lot of data through coaching amazing women, mostly highly achieving working moms with multiple kids. One of the biggest things that I've noticed is that most of our successful clients, that is, the ones that accomplish their fat loss, fitness, and health goals, are the ones that use this method when they're tracking their macros. Enter pre-tracking. Pre-tracking your macros means adding in your meals ahead of time into whatever tracking app that you use instead of tracking on the fly. But first, why should you track? Why should you pre-track your macros? You want to think of your nutrition goals as a puzzle. Whenever you're tracking on the go, it's kind of like putting on a blindfold and trying to put together this puzzle without being able to actually see what puzzle pieces you're grabbing. Sure, some days you might get lucky and you pick up the right pieces that fit together, but most days you're going to, in the chaos of the day-to-day busyness, be grabbing random shit, throwing it together, and you end up at the end of the night with 50 grams of protein left, 20 grams over your fats, and no carbs left. And trust me, I've been there and I've done that. And no one wants to end their night drinking 3 scoops of protein powder in water or chewing on 8 ounces of chicken breast for dessert. When you pre-track and you do it at a calmer time of day, it puts you in control of your nutrition. This is like sorting your puzzle pieces into colored sections while looking at the big picture on the box, and then piecing things together in a systematic and intentional way. This is going to make hitting your goals easier, more efficient, and weight loss is going to come easier to you and be something that you can actually expect. If your weight loss stalls, which it should because your metabolism is going to adapt to your calorie deficit, you can super easily adjust your calories to create more of a deficit, or you can really easily plan out a diet break if you've been dieting for a long period of time and you just have around 5 to 10 pounds left to lose. Pre-tracking, in short, is empowering as instead of letting time or your lack of time, your feelings, unexpected events, and not having groceries to throw you off from hitting your goals. Pre-tracking helps you to get your time back by being proactive. This structured self-made meal plan is going to help you to get your time back by lowering decision fatigue, making a super easy grocery list that you can follow, and make hitting your macro targets easy. And if you're still not sold on the pre-tracking process, then check out our client transformations of women that all used pre-tracking in their own ways and were intentional with their fitness and nutrition. So I created this system based on what these clients have done and what I've done in my own experience, and put together a step-by-step process that you can apply to your own life so that you can make hitting your macros something that is easy and adjust it to fit with what works best for you. Step 1 is going to be pick a time of day that you are going to set an appointment with yourself. So this needs to be 15 to 30 minutes when you're first starting out. It is going to get faster as you get better at doing this, but you're going to want to block out this time in your calendar, set an appointment with yourself, talk to your partner so that they can know the goal of this session and to be supportive, help you out in any way that you need. And then set an alarm or something that is going to trigger this new habit. You can plan out all of your meals for the next week, or you could just plan out your meals for the next day or the next few days. And think of this as a learning process. So the first couple times you do this, it's going to be hard and it's going to be something that you are learning more about what works best for you. And then you're going to test it out and think of it like an experiment. If you're tracking the day of or the morning of, this is far too late. You're going to need a little bit of time so that you can actually physically prepare the meals that you are planning. So if you are tracking the day of or the morning of, typically this is way too late because you don't have the time to create the meals or to meal prep anything unless you are ordering everything out or have meal prep service delivered. Step 2, next you're going to divide out the amount of calories, so your calorie goal, by the amount of times you plan on eating. So if your calorie goal is 1,800 calories per day and you eat 3 times with maybe 2 snacks, then you're going to take 1,800 calories and divide that by 5 because you plan on eating 5 times, right? So you're going to end up getting 360 calories, and that is your goal per meal that you're aiming for. Next, do this for protein. So if your protein goal is 135 grams of protein for the entire day, divide that out by 5 to get 27 grams of protein, and that is the target that you're aiming for per meal. Then you'll repeat this for your carbohydrate goal and your fat goal, and if you have a fiber goal as well, do that too. Step 3, you're going to brainstorm what meals you would like to fill in these calories and these macros with. So think to yourself and write down 1 to 3 for each of these categories: for breakfast, lunch, dinner, any snacks that you have, maybe 2 to 4 different snacks. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with too many options, so 1 to 3 is going to be perfectly fine when you first start out. And here's a tip. You want to pick meals that you've been eating recently, maybe some things that you already have available in your cupboards or in your fridge. And then you also want to pick things that you get out to eat as well. So maybe your favorite Chipotle bowl, maybe what you get at your favorite fast food restaurants or on date night, whatever that looks like for you. Step 4, now that we have this list of go-to meals and we also have the goals that you're going for per meal, now we're going to actually add in each of the food types from your meals into whatever calorie app that you are using. What you can do here is go into the app, and there should be a section where you can save meals or save your favorites. And you're going to add in your go-to meals. And the key here is to adjust the serving sizes so that you can match the goals that you have. Step 5, now that we have plenty of variety to choose from, you've got all of your go-to meals saved in your database in the calorie counting app that you're using, you can now choose from that database and plan out what you're going to eat for tomorrow or the next day after that. Plug those meals in and try to make sure that you're within 100 calories of your total calorie goal by the time that you're done adding all of these things in and adjusting the serving sizes. And then you're going to try to make sure that you're within 10 grams of your protein goal, 10 grams of your carbohydrate goal, and then within 5 grams of your fat goal. And it's okay to sometimes be off of this, but you want to make sure that your average calories are in a deficit for the entire week. So that does mean that weekends count. So make sure you are pre-tracking for your weekends as well. If your weight loss ever does stall, make sure you look at your weekends and make sure that you are tracking those days as well. They count and they can offset your entire week and make it so that you are not in a calorie deficit. So this is why the weekends really matter. Step 6 is to adjust your plan whenever something unexpected happens. So your plan is never going to go exactly as planned. That is not always going to happen. You're going to have things that happen like your kids eating your favorite snack, running out of groceries. Maybe somebody brought some lunch into work. Maybe a rep brought some food in and you want to have that. So you're going to have to be flexible. And that is the entire design of this. That's the entire point. So now that you have this structure planned out, you can take out a meal and you can plug in whatever you plan on eating in that moment and have a very easy structure for that. So you're going to have an exact amount of calories, an exact amount of your macros that you're going to try to hit now because you took that one meal out, and it's going to make it really easy for you to adjust from there. And remember, you'll get better at this with practice. Step 7, the last step, is going to be test this out and celebrate all of your wins. So every time you sit down to plan out your meals and you get within your 100 calories, you get within your 10 grams of protein, and you're good to go, celebrate in some way. So play your favorite song. Maybe you play your favorite song while you're tracking these. Maybe go out, hug your partner, play with your dogs, play with your kids, whatever that looks like, something that fills your cup and makes it fun for you. What this does in your brain is it connects pleasure to this action that you just did, and you're more likely to repeat that action because your brain is looking for that dopamine hit that you just gave it by doing something fun afterwards. Eventually, you're going to find that it's really easy to sit down and plan out your meals because you've made it a pleasurable thing, a pleasurable action. So, in short, tracking your macros doesn't have to feel like trying to do a puzzle blindfolded. And it doesn't have to be a daily stressor when you're actually proactive about it. Using this simple system will absolutely change the fat loss game for you. Comment below any questions that came up for you, or you can DM me at Ariel Lynn Fitness on Instagram, where I answer all of my DMs. And if you're looking to lose 10 to 15 pounds in the next 90 days without having to give up date nights, without having to give up Starbucks or your favorite foods, or having to do hours of boring cardio, then make sure you subscribe to get more videos like this.